And we are live once again. And we have the disembodied voice in the background for the first time in a few months. Say hi, sound man. Sound guy, excuse me.
When a couple more people are in, you can do your commercial for yourself.
Yes. As usual, we are on a smidge early, which means that there's nobody watching us right now. So for those of you who wanted to watch the reruns, you'll catch this little bit of dribble before the real show begins.
That's where the magic happens.
Absolutely.
Is it magic? Is that what's happening?
You can do magic. You can have anything that you desire. Magic. And you know you're the one who can put out the fire.
I don't know that one.
It's America.
Okay.
It was one of the last major hits they had before the group kind of fizzled out.
I don't know them as well at all.
Yeah, I know some of the main ones. That Horse with No Name.
Yeah, but
Tin Man.
beyond that, I'm like,
okay.
Meh.
So we've got some people. Hello, people.
We have lots of spaces for readings this evening if you would like them.
Absolutely. We have only one person who signed up in advance, that being Karina Haley. If you are here, feel free to chime in. And if you're not, hopefully you'll be here in a few minutes.
Huzzah.
Huzzah, exactly. What are you drinking?
Whatever that was red that was on your kitchen table.
Ah, very well. Hopefully it wasn't red dishwater.
It doesn't taste like dishwater.
Well, that's good. Good evening, Karina. How are you doing this fine evening? She's watching us from Facebook, I can see.
Mm-hmm. I can see that as well.
So, for those of you who are chiming in and seeing us for the first time, and for those of you who've seen us a whole bunch of other times, I am Lord Fafnir, and this is Spawn. That's why we call ourselves Lord Fafnir and Spawn Psychic Readers. Indeed. I know the jokes just don't get any better.
No, they don't.
No, they never did actually.
I was gonna say they were worse when we were a singing group, actually.
No, Karina, Facebook is fine. We actually have this broadcast on both Facebook and our YouTube channel. It does not really matter.
We may be expanding our social media outreach. We will see.
Good evening, Shannon says first time here. Welcome aboard. So what we're going to do tonight is that we do some live psychic readings. And the idea is that we have tarot cards here. And we're going to basically do tarot readings for you. All you have to do is ask, and we will give you a reading. We typically do 10 readings during this live stream. I remember the first few times we actually didn't put a number on. We actually went for like 4 hours.
So that's where the number came from.
So yes, we only have Karina Haley, who already is waiting in the woods here. She's going to go first because she signed up in advance, but that's the only person who did. So we actually have 9 other slots available.
And Shannon would like one as well.
All right, I got the list here, so I will put down Shannon. All righty.
So, since I don't think either of you have been here before, so let's explain a little bit of how we do this. So, hello, Addison. Long time no see.
Addison, gotcha.
Welcome back. So, for those of you that are joining us that have not been here before, the way that we do this, we're offering you 3 card spreads this evening. We have a couple of different decks to choose from. They all offer a little bit of slightly different interpretations. And then you can either have a question or not. You can ask for a general reading instead. That's fine. But if you have a question, let us know. Pick which deck you would like, which reader you would like, or you can have both of us. That is also fine.
I mean, you're going to get both of us because we typically both chime in anyway. But
someone, if you want someone to take point.
Mm-hmm.
And then a number between 1 and 78, because ordinarily when we do readings in person, we like for you to shuffle the deck and then we draw from the top when you are done shuffling. Obviously, we cannot do that through the internet. So we ask you to pick from 1 to 78 because that's how many cards there are in a tarot deck.
Hello, Melody. How are you doing? We have some spots left over. If you would like to have a reading tonight as well. The decks that we have, I don't think you actually mentioned which decks that we have.
I did not.
So we have our all-purpose decks, which, by the way, we each have one of these. This is called Dragon Tarot, my personal favorite. Red also has her all-purpose deck with this called the Swiss 11J deck. It's an out-of-print deck, by the way. We call it the Dark Shadows deck because it's the deck that was used in that old 60s
soap opera.
daily soap opera called Dark Shadows.
Yes.
And then for those who would like to have a relationship reading, I have this one. This is a love-themed deck. It's called the Tarot of Sexual Magic. It is R-rated. It's not really a, quote, sexual deck, but a few of the cards are a bit more, shall we say, explicit than the others. So, but it really does kind of show the good, the bad, and the ugly of relationships. So those are the decks. Good evening, Jessica. We have still some slots available for readings tonight, but let's get going. We can definitely add more people to the list as we go. Karina, you were the one who signed up first, therefore you get to go first.
Put Melody down.
Melody wants one? Okay. So to recap quickly, Melody, Karina, what we need.
Karina has chosen the dragon deck already.
Okay.
So excellent.
So now you need a person to take point and also a number between 1 and 78 and your question. Or if you don't have a question, just say, I want a general reading.
And we sort of, until we get the, ooh, she says 77.
Okay.
That will make counting really easy for you.
Yes, it will. I'll count from the back.
Exactly.
So all we need now is a question or just the, I don't have a question. Interesting. 77, huh?
Maybe it's because I said 1 to 78. Maybe that got stuck in the brain.
Well, usually a lot of people do the single digits on the front, but not.
Karina
not the ones,
says general.
Just general.
Excellent.
All right.
And then also, just a question for you, Karina. What is your sign, if you know?
You want to do the bad bar joke?
Oh, you mean...
Yield.
Yes, when you ask someone for their sign in a bar and mine's yield. Mine's do not enter.
Yes, it's an old dumb bar joke from like.
Karina is a Sagittarius.
Okay, Tammy would like 1 and 2. I got Tammy on here.
And then switch the cameras.
Okay, so here are our cards. The 3 cards that you have for your reading, Karina. Now, just so you know, we deliberately leave the cards upside down if they come up that way, because we do read cards as inverted. If it is upside down, that means the meaning may be a little bit different than what you would normally say. And sometimes actually upside down doesn't mean anything. So we have here, the first card is the 2 of Swords, regular facing. Second one, I'll turn this upside down because I want you to see the pictures here, even though I'll talk about these things in their upside down mode. We have the Queen of Cups, also doubles as Sagittarius, which I do believe this was the daily draw today, too. The Queen of Cups.
Yes, she was.
And we have the, someone else wants a reading?
Yes, just Arena, I see you. We got you.
Yep.
Rena's here? Yay!
Rena is here, yes. And the 2 of Coins. So from an element perspective, because the 4 suits of the tarot also equate back to the elements earth, air, fire, and water, we have Swords is for air, Cups is for water, and Coins are for earth. So we have at least a little bit of nice little element balance. Obviously, you can't get 4 elements in 3 cards, but it's as balanced as you're going to get for 3 cards, which is kind of nice. All right. And then from numerology, we have a pair of 2s. And even though, Karina, you're a Sagittarius, this one doubles for the sign of Scorpio, the Queen of Cups here. All right, so the general reading essentially is very, very interesting. It's kind of a combination of things. One, the thing about the 2 of Swords, number 2s have a tendency of often referred to decision, duality, or in this case, it really is referring to trying to make a balance. Dragons are all about balance, and so is the air, by the way. And here you have one of many dragons in this suit who's holding the scales of balance here while trying to balance both of those swords. Now you figure, okay, 2 swords, 1 dragon, 1 talon grabs each sword. No, 1 talon has to hold the scales. Therefore, 1 talon must pay attention to this one because this one's the most important one today, but doesn't want to lose focus of this one. Therefore, he wraps the tail around there. Now, this typically is a metaphor for trying to make the balance between professional life and personal life. And sometimes it's a real pain in the neck here.
That's what you say, is it?
What?
You say professional and personal.
Yes, what do you say?
Oh, see, I've predominantly said past and future.
Well, I mean, sometimes it's that. I mean, it's a metaphor.
Well, I honestly say often that's why the tail is wrapped around the pack, because we tend to bring too much of that forward with us versus only the 1 talon on the future.
Well, the idea, either way, it's the idea is that the talon on the front sword, that's the one which has to get the attention. But the idea is that it's trying to maintain that average of balance. And that's what balance is. It's an average only. We don't live our day-to-day lives in balance. It's not possible. We just hope by the end of the day that we would like to. Case in point, because the next 2 cards really kind of like bring that whole point of trying to balance your life. They were both upside down. First, we have the Queen of Cups basically getting her own drink of water rather than putting on her jeweled crown, which is up here, and taking her nice goblet and going, "Minion, come fetch me some water and slake my thirst," issuing orders. No, she's just like, "I'm alone. I'll just do it myself." Versus this one over here, the 2 of coins, where you literally have the male and female energy dragons exchanging coins. Here we have an alliance being formed. I sometimes call this the marriage card. But it really refers to some kind of positive alliance, whether it be professional, whether it be personal. It doesn't always have to be romantic, but sometimes that actually is exactly what it is.
Yes, but I tend to, I'm like, whatever it be earthly.
It's being real. Because the idea is that in the Dragon Tarot, there are not that many cards with more than 1 dragons, because dragons as a general rule are solitary creatures.
Yes, very.
So when more than 1 dragon shows up, you got to really wonder what the agenda is, because in some of the cards they're fighting. There are not that many cards where the 2 dragons are actually clearly on their same side. The Lovers would be one. This is another one where clearly they're there for positive something or other. Anyway, you got to find your balance. What's more important right now? Is that staking out your own claim, doing your own thing there, or finding that balance with that so-called partner? Both of them are upside down because you're waffling big time. You are waffling big time. And the idea is that you got to make a decision. This one basically says is that by making a decision, it doesn't necessarily lock you in to one of those things exclusively. You can flip back and forth.
But you are perceiving potentially being locked in. But it's not necessarily true.
Now, you said, Karina, that you actually had questions, but you want to go with a more general reading here. So having heard that, do you want to clarify anything based upon these 3 cards? Or you can leave it like that.
Yeah, it's whichever you prefer.
We will wait, because we know there's always delay time in getting responses from people on Facebook and YouTube.
There sure is. There is usually at least a 20-second delay on our end. It's instantaneous for you guys. It's not instantaneous for us.
No, unfortunately, it is not. Sometimes we do the Jeopardy theme to wait. Gabby's going to pass out, she says in her message.
She does. It seems to me that this is more professional financially.
Well,
that is the comment Karina says.
Okay. I mean, I would kind of lean more toward that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there may be a combination of both there right now, but it's just like you need to pick your priorities. And maybe, like I said, maybe the difference really is what needs to be prioritized right now. Is it more that professional life or is it that personal life? Red and I do a little bit of a different interpretation on this, but the global thought here is that with both of these cards being upside down, it basically says between the dragon that's really kind of taking care of their own business and the dragon, which is clearly getting a partner, you're waffling. And ultimately, this card says you make the decision, which actually, I guess, gives you the best the best positive gain, at least in the short term, if not the long run.
The things that you're waffling about, it's one of those things that you can't really waffle and get the benefits of either.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's why I make a decision.
Yeah. Don't half-ass two things, whole-ass one thing.
Well, that's one way of looking at it.
Did you like that?
Yeah. Whole ass one thing. Jack of all trades, master of none. No. Pick a specialty. All right. We hope that helped. Shannon, you're up next.
If you are still here.
Well, she was the second one signed up there.
I know. I just haven't seen her. I haven't seen her comment in a little bit. So.
She's watching from YouTube, I do believe.
Yes. Which we tend to get their comments faster.
Yeah. Why is that? Take it you to know. Hello, Marie. Hello, Jenna.
For anybody joining, we have 4 spots left.
Mm-hmm. Yes, right now we just finished our first one. We have Shannon, Addison, Melody, Tammy, and Rena. That's the order we're getting these things in here. But we do have a few slots left. So for those who are joining in now, Shan would like one.
Yep. I am seeing if Shannon is jumping back in. But
Shannon, are you still here?
Oh, yes, we got room for you, Liz.
Liz, got you. Yes, we now have a Shan
and
a Shannon.
And Jenna Lee.
Jenna Lee wants one?
Yep.
No, we got room for everyone so far. Jenna, you're in. You'll just have to be patient because you're near the end of the list.
Yes, it is a list format. So for those of you that are and Chelsea would like to round the evening.
All right,
out.
Chelsea, you got the last one.
Excellent.
Of course, if Shannon doesn't come back, we'll give her slot to somebody else.
Well, I'm honestly we're going to move past her right now. If she
Addison.
comes back, great.
Yes, Addison is up next. And after Addison is Melody. And then Tammy.
That is the nature of doing it this way, unfortunately, is you do have to sort of be aware of where you are, holding your place in line, as it were.
Yes, maybe Shannon had to go away for a little bit. So.
Yeah, there's not really a more efficient way to do these things.
Addison wants a random deck. Interesting.
7 and general.
She said she's had a few from the dragon. So let's do the Swiss 1-1J deck.
There we go.
General, and she said she wants
7.
7. Okay.
We can accommodate all of those things.
Okay. This will be interesting.
And remind us what your sign is, Addison. Because, it's been a few months.
Now, in your card, the number at the bottom, that means that's regular?
Yes. If it's in the bottom right corner, that means
it's
right way around.
none of these are inverted. Let me get these positioned for the camera.
And Addison is a Cancer. You want to write down what Shan's is?
I am doing that right now.
Oh, thank you for providing that ahead of time. Oh, and Melody as well is. Everybody is.
What is Melody?
She's got.
She's got her whole thing. She's an Aquarius.
You guys are doing great. Thank you so much.
All right, so let's flip the cards for Addison here. We have 3 cards, and all of them are regular facing. We've got, and as you can see, it's in French because so is this deck. We have number 3, the Empress. Number 10, the Wheel of Fortune, or La Roue de Fortune. And then we have the very badly done Roman numeral number 4 of coins. I wish they would. Why did they do that?
They get it right on some of the cards too, so it drives me nuts.
You don't do Roman numerals as 4 I's. It's an IV, guys.
Tammy is a Libra.
I already got that written down.
Excellent. Thank you, everybody. Look at you guys go.
All right.
Addison thinks they're pretty. They are pretty cards. So.
All right. Marie, I got you. I have you. You're an Aquarius. I see that.
And here, let me answer Jenna's question real quick. So Jenna, we did explain a little earlier, but again, since you weren't here, normally if we were in person, we would have you shuffle the deck and then we would draw from the top when you're done shuffling. But since we can't do that because this is the internet, we ask you to choose a card between 1 to 78 because there are 78 cards in a tarot deck. And basically we pull as starting as that being the top card as if you shuffled. Fun things when we're doing this virtually.
Yes. So just so you know, Marie, before we go into this reading here, just so you know, Marie, you officially are number 11 on this. We only do 10 readings, so you were the first on the waiting list. However, one of our people who signed up may have seems to have disappeared. So if that's the case, you'll be getting that person's slot. So just be patient as we get through the other readings here. All right, so let's do Addison's reading with this 3, 10, and 4. Two of them, the first two being majors, those two majors actually have nothing to do with any of the signs, earth, air, fire, water. All we have here is the earth sign for the 4 of coins. I guess we really are focusing more on reality than anything else, more esoteric.
It would seem so, but it looks to me, especially with the way that the layout is, it looks like you're trying very hard to reconnect with your power. You may be confused how to do so, or you may be struggling in how to do so. But I'll start this off with an A for effort.
Mm-hmm.
You are trying.
Definitely trying. I mean, it's almost as if here the Empress is giving you the middle finger. I know she's not, but that was when I first saw this deck, I kind of went.
See,
index. I mean, it's the index figure, but you have to look really close to this. Like, I wonder.
No, I totally see how you're saying that. I also, for me, in this particular instance, I feel like she is pointing at her crown to remind you, Addison, of your power, because you are the Empress.
Mm-hmm.
You are the powerful female. So she's like, hey, you remember this? You wear one of these.
Mm-hmm. And then with the second one here, the Wheel of Fortune, this is one of the most interesting figures I've seen here with the blindfolded person cranking the wheel and basically throwing them off and over a cliff.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, A for effort.
Mm-hmm.
Not super getting desired results, but we're trying.
Yeah, you're trying, but the thing is you do need to take the blindfold off. Because essentially what you're wind up doing is that by trying to do some of the stuff in the dark, if you're trying to like ask for assistance from your little network of helpers, you're actually throwing some of them overboard in the process there. Not that you're doing it intentionally, by the way.
No, definitely not intentionally.
But yeah, so you're a little bit out of focus. You're A for effort, but I would say probably C- in the initial planning phase, so to speak here.
However, there's a positive spin in the third card, especially because it's a 4.
Ending of the phase.
Yes, and I think for this particular one, it's reading, at least to me, you're finally getting your feet under you.
Yes. That would be true. Also, because one of the things about this deck that we talk about on these live streams for the suit cards, especially, not so much the majors, but for the suit cards, The whole point of symmetry really kind of comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Most of these cards look like they're supposed to be symmetrical, but very few of them are. This is one of the ones which actually is one of the most symmetrical cards in this deck. Now, it's not 100% perfect, by the way, but it is probably about 98% there. In that, if you look at the symbols here, the colors, everything is kind of a match. It's only till you look really, really, really closely at the fine details do you actually see a little bit of mismatches. But the mismatches are rather insignificant. That being the leaves on the side, they don't quite match. And the little squigglies here, they don't match here and here.
But right now, you're not worried about that. Right now, you're still in the broad strokes phase.
Mm-hmm.
And broad strokes wise, symmetrical.
Yeah, if you look at that thing, just look at that picture of this card as is from the camera without looking to fine detail, you're going to go, that's completely symmetrical. And it is. The big picture is. The minutia may not be, but the big picture definitely is. So that's definitely an improvement of where you've been. Can you do better? Of course you can. I think everybody could say that, though.
Yes. And you've been trying to remember your self-worth lately. Yes, that is important. It's valuable. And it looks like you're going to be getting your feet under you there.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say it seems relatively short order. This doesn't seem like it's going to take you super, super long to figure out.
Yep. Alrighty. Let us move on. We'll call for Shannon one more time to see if Shannon is still there. But I think Shannon has flown the coop. In which case, Melody is up next. Did Melody already ask her?
Yes, she
Did she give the full? I have Aquarius.
She
that's all I've got
was
here.
prepared. I have Melodies all set to go. She would like the Dragon deck, 13 General.
Okay. Shan L. No, we're not referring to you.
There was a Shannon and a Shan L, so that's fun.
Yes, that's when the names already get there. So I'm sorry. So it was Dragon deck. What was the number?
13.
13. And was there a question?
Nope, General.
General.
And also, she's an Aquarius.
Yes, that I got here.
So.
This is the dawning of the age.
Thank you, everyone,
Aquarius.
for being so on top of it.
Maybe they sense that spring is coming too.
Axel, we can put you in the wait list if you would like. Hey, Matt, you just threw something at me. Something was thrown at me, and now it's under the table.
I did not throw anything at you.
Something was thrown at me, and now it's under the table.
Didn't come from here.
It must have fallen off the back of the thing there or something. I see it's on the floor there. We'll get it later.
Here, let me just stick Axel in the waiting list as well.
Okay.
Boop, doop, boop.
Alrighty. Fire away for Melody.
Ah, it's all inverted.
And
we were having such a nice time.
we were. We have the upside down 10 of Cups. The upside down 6 of Swords. The upside down 3 of Wands.
So
And the numbers are even going downhill.
So what is so we've been having some emotional turmoil and fighting, and it doesn't seem like that's been going well. Or is this leading us to the confusion we find ourselves in, or were we already confused?
Oh God, yeah. This is We had the discussion / argument with your fellow dragon to the door frame, which is like really bloody narrow to the point where you may not get through it at all if you're not careful.
Oh, hey, sound guy.
Yeah.
Whiskey boyfriend's here.
Oh, cool. I'll be in the room in a minute. It's taking me a while because everything's still on the old computer.
So anyway, sorry, I was distracted by a comment. What did you say?
I was going to say, I said the argument here, and then the whole point of the the narrow door frame. And if you're not careful, you're not going to get through it. So it's just like, yes. What the hell are you doing?
Well, honestly, that's not what my major concern is. The major concern is this progression is not great.
No.
And it isn't great, inverted or not.
No,
really.
This is actually, that's also true. But by the way, for the people who are new here, in case you can't tell, we don't sugarcoat this stuff.
No, we do not.
We just tell it like it is because it's information meant for you guys. And sometimes the cards are less than stellar.
We care and we want to be helpful, and being helpful is giving you all of the information.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my big concern is the 3 of Wands at the end there because, oh good, 3, the number of the heart with fire energy. So
your heart is full of burning, as in heartburn.
We have heartburn. Yes, that's what I was about to. Yeah.
Yes, as opposed to the heart burning with passion, you really do have heartburn.
Mm-hmm.
You got more fire than the card allows. You got the 3 lit chalices, and the extra fire here is becoming like an out of control fire.
It's starting to singe your wingtip.
Yep. So, I partially want to say dial it back a bit. Don't be the bull in the china shop here.
Because also, and you can feel free to tell me if I'm wrong, because, Lord knows that's been known to happen, but I'm also getting a distinct self-flagellation vibe from these cards. It's like you understand that you're struggling and you're going to do that very human thing of like, I'm also going to make it worse by beating myself up for it while I'm down.
Oh, no, because we never do that.
No, that's not a very human trait at all.
No, absolutely not.
Would you agree?
No, I totally agree there. So we try, but every now and then things go a bit awry.
So, Melody, I'm hoping that this is for a specific situation and is not for the general gist of how things are right now. But it looks like we got some struggle and we got some things to work through. Might I suggest we start with the emotional fighting? Because if we could get that under wraps, I feel like we could at least, like, if we could not be putting energy into that, then we would at least have more energy as you have your hands in many pots. So yes, you'd have more energy for the other pots. Because after a certain point, emotional fighting doesn't yield anything.
No, at a certain point, all parties lose.
Yes. Give yourself a break, Melody. Jeez.
But don't go to McDonald's.
I was gonna say I was actually going for the Kit Kat commercial.
Well, the thing is, you deserve a break today was an old McDonald's slogan.
See, and I was going, give me a break, give me a break.
Oh, I didn't even think about that one.
Off a piece of that Kit Kat, boy.
There was a good New York accent doing that too.
Thanks. I wasn't even going for that. I was just trying to be whiny.
But you pulled it off there.
I did. Go me.
She says that she has many.
Her hands in many. Yeah, that's why I said yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So you want to take your hand out of the emotional fighting pot, because what good is your hand doing you in that pot?
Right.
Anyway.
If anything, what you want to do is take your hands and actually try to stretch these bars and make the
Ooh, yes, I like that.
a little,
I like that.
A little wider.
Yes.
It's like it's the old Superman thing inside the jail cell, pulling the bars apart. Alrighty.
Yes, indeed.
Alrighty. And we move on. Tammy is up next. Tammy the Libra. Now, did Tammy already put her comment in there too?
Let me see. I think so. Tammy would like general.
All I have is Tammy's a Libra from earlier things. That's why.
Scroll down again.
Hello, Tammy.
Okay. Yep, so all I have right now is you would like a general read, and you're a Libra. Thank you for that. Which deck would you like? And who would you like to take point, or would you just like both of us to go back and forth with it the way we do?
Don't worry, Liz. Even though you logged out, we still have all the comments going back there. So
Yep.
yours didn't drop out.
Nope, we got yours. I literally just scrolled by it. Yes, I did. There we go.
So, Tammy, we will wait for you to.
Yep. Number between 1 and 78. And would you like the Dragon deck, the Dark Shadows deck, or the deck of Sexual Magic? Woo!
Well,
She
for
would like both of us.
I'll say for a general reading, probably the red deck is probably not the best to choose. But you never know.
Some people have done that.
That's true.
They're like, oh my gosh, Sound Guy has entered the chat.
All right, Tammy, we still need the number and the deck.
Yep.
And we will have to basically give the promo for next month because.
Oh, while we're waiting, Sound Guy, since you're here, do you want to do a commercial for yourself? Because also we have a bunch of new people here tonight who might be interested.
That's very true.
Well, for next month, we have what in my humble opinion, is one of the greatest readings of the year. It is the April 1st Fafnir and Spawn show, where Fafnir and Spawn end up behind the camera for a change, and I, the wonderful Sound Guy, end up in front of the camera with several decks of cards,
and several glasses of whiskey
or rum, and I'm gonna have to get some more of that maple flavored whiskey from the distillery in Concord. Oh my goodness, it'll be a good time.
Yes,
and
the annual April Fool's Sound Guy stream. Oh Lord!
Yes,
you
so
never know what you're gonna get.
He takes his place in front of the camera, and we take our place not on camera, which it is my favorite for that specifically. I get to be the one to do the heckling.
Yeah, we get to heckle him because he gets to be the one.
It's very fun that way. But we do tell everybody that signs up, you do not expect real readings.
I was going to say, you're to get what you pay for on April Fool's Day.
We're having this is a funny ha-ha. I know we always get a couple people that come in thinking he's being super serious. I will say though, every year, the more whiskey or rum that goes into him, the more accurate he becomes. It's very strange. So if you want a funny ha-ha, I guess you should go towards the beginning.
It's one of my superpowers.
You don't think about with again, he always comes up with interesting names of the four suits.
Oh yes, Rena, you absolutely need to be there for that one.
Yes, Rena, you absolutely need. If you go back and look at the past three, this be what, the fourth year?
I think this is the fourth time you've done this. Yeah,
you can actually see the progression in the first 3 years, and
yeah, it's gotten worse.
Yep.
I remember the very first year, the last person I read was 20. Who less than 5 minutes after we were off the air, we went like off live, called me and went, "The fuck just happened?"
That she did.
Some evolves. This one devolves. But anyway, yeah, all of our past streams are actually are archived.
Yes,
you can
they're
watch
all
any
on
of them.
YouTube. You can go back and watch any of them.
Anyway, so let's get back to the play.
Yes. Hi, Tammy.
Back to Tammy. Yes. I didn't mean the thing to get that far. All right. So again, the general here, and looky what we've got here. We have here the King of Swords, which also doubles for the sign of Libra. Then we have the Queen of Wands, doubling for the sign of Leo, and last but not least, the upside down Queen of Coins, doubling for the sign of Taurus. 3 different signs. And since Tammy's a Libra off the get-go, as am I, Libras are just absolutely awesome. And I know Liz will chime in and agree with that because she's a Libra too. But we are the best sign. And of course, Red happens to be this one. She's a Leo.
Excuse me. Yeah, I was going to say the best one was actually the second one.
Yeah, you keep on believing that there.
I do.
And then, of course, the last one is Taurus. Everybody hates Tauruses, except Tauruses.
Hey, I don't hate Tauruses.
That's a joke, by the way.
I know.
But the thing is, Taurus is being known for like the most stubborn of all the signs. That's why. Actually, it's funny when I listen to the stereotypes. It's the 3 Earth signs, which are the ones that the other signs have a tendency of not liking the most.
Yes.
Up, troll.
No.
Goodbye, Julius.
Bye, Julius. We'll miss you.
Oh,
Not
Chelsea feels called out as a Taurus.
Chelsea.
But then she says truth.
Mm-hmm.
If the shoe fits.
All right, let's get back to Tammy here and her general request here. So yes, we have the first card of you. But the thing is, in addition to being the Libra card, this also is the one card because by the way, because the Justice is the other card that represents Libra. This is about the dragon who's trying to do everything himself, trying to lead the dragons, in flight like a V pattern. But the V pattern has fallen completely apart because you're the one in front, and you have all that wind, all that shear, all that thrust against you, and you're flying so far away from your other dragons, you lift them in the dust. So the whole point of that camaraderie falling apart. Yes, congratulations. You're like a lot of Libras, by the way. You believe that if you want it done right, do it yourself. Yay for you. Well, hey, I'll give you this much. Sometimes that philosophy works.
It is one of those things where it is both your greatest asset and your greatest weakness.
Yes, but in this case, it's turning out to be more of a weakness aspect. Believe it or not, having that one next to the Queen of Wands actually gives you the asset because you have the fire and the air going together, the 2 elements which are compatible. This one kind of shows that more calmed down Leo type of energy where the queen just kind of hovers over in front of the Egyptian pyramids with all of her symbols there, but she's not like trying to take on too much. She's just like, okay, I got this.
What that actually makes me think of?
What's that?
So this one genuinely, for any Game of Thrones fans out there, this one genuinely strikes me as the Melisandre card. I'm looking for visions in my flame now.
Interesting.
I am lower energy Leo. I am using my energy to look into my flames. And what do I see?
Interesting. Most interesting. Okay. And then the last card, in addition to being Taurus, it's the Queen of Cups there where you're waiting for this egg to hatch. This was upside down. So the thing is, this refers to patience. Upside down means you got a problem with that. And that, by the way, that's one of the whole things here is that you're trying to do too much as the Libra here. You may feel good energy, but the whole point is that your patience is on the rather thin side here. And by the way, if you really want what's inside this egg, you got to wait for it to hatch. If you really don't have the patience, then don't bitch. Don't hang around complaining. Leave. Go do something else. Let it for somebody else. Or maybe come back and see if it's still there later on. Be productive. But just don't kind of sit around this. Don't waste your time hovering around the tree here waiting for the egg to hatch and then just kind of like get all in a twink about it. It's a weird progression. Because again, I think, because you're feeling that good confidence because you've been doing things which have worked for you in the past. Whole point of this one here again. But now this is where the whole point of trying to do it all by yourself is really kind of not working in your favor. So absorb more of that heat. Spring is coming after all, but also just kind of like let things just kind of roll past you. You don't have to take on all the responsibility. And the idea is that really, if you really are having the problem with patience, it's just that, let shit go. Or certain things anyway. Prioritize.
Which, yes, is a thing that you probably struggle with. Libras struggle with that. Leos struggle with that.
Really?
But yes, letting things go is important.
Do you have anything else you want to add to that?
Honestly, you kind of stole all my talking points. Good job.
Well, you did most of the last one, so I figured I would just kind of
this happens on occasion.
Exactly. So, Tammy, do you have any questions on that before we pass the torch on to Rena?
And Rena, did you send us a thing with all your stuff, or not yet? I will check.
I think she's just been shooting comments which are meant for Sound Guy.
Yes, they like flirting in the chat. It's cute. They're cute. He's also flirting with Whiskey Boyfriend. Sound Guy's flirting with everyone in the chat tonight.
You slut. Thinking we just had that the 50th of Starting Out Live. I want to go, Jane, you ignorant slut.
I was told to be no math.
And Rena, would you like Dragon deck, Dark Shadows deck, or Sexual Magic deck, and a number between 1 and 78? And Rena's also a Taurus. For the people who just came in on YouTube, you do not have to pay for these. These are free, but also this is a first come, first serve kind of situation. So the people that are going before you are the people that were already on the list. Our list is currently full, but there are some people who sometimes do not come back for their assigned slots. So if that happens, we may take people from the waiting list and be able to do that. So for those people who may not be able to get a reading tonight, we do this once a month. And obviously, as Sound Guy just did his commercial for the silly, fun, haha April Fool's one, if you would like a serious one, the next serious one will be the following month in May.
My readings are very serious. Thank you very much.
We're using your deck this time.
That's fine.
Did you just 404 there? What the hell?
No, I feel like we have a different definition of serious.
I'm very serious.
Yes, Tier, we will add you to the list. And we will let you know.
Yes.
If the spot's available. All right. We are on to Rena right now, so go ahead and flip.
Flipping.
She wants the general. She's the Taurus. She's got all inverted cards too. Now, why does that not surprise me?
What? Not Rena. Rena is never complex.
I was going to say, no, she's one of the most, calm, cool, straight-laced people I know.
Absolutely.
Very level-headed.
I was going to say.
We didn't say anything about level-headed. We said straight-laced.
With tiny little wrists.
Yes, Rena notes that the absolute sarcasm is just oozing from us right now.
Before we get going here, I'm going to start because, as I should have expected.
What?
Yes, Axel, you can have one for April. Some people would like to sign up for April Fools.
Oh, okay. All right, so we have here all inverted. We have the upside down 3 of Wands. Didn't we just see that one? We have the upside down 6 of Swords. We just saw that one too. It was funny. It was the other deck. This thing was hilarious. Is that we basically this is not the first dragon deck. This is the second dragon deck.
Although I like where the 3 of Wands is in relation to where it was.
Yes, that is absolutely true. And then the last one, the upside down 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups. So at least we've got the 3 different elements. We at least have a little bit of so-called balance per se. And the numbers are going upwards as opposed to the last time we did this where it was going downhill.
Yes. So you're at least headed in the correct direction, but you got to maybe stop doing it as a handstand. Maybe try walking.
Yes, Rena, let's be honest. You have a tendency of making things much more difficult for yourself than they actually need to.
You may be overcomplicating a few things.
Maybe.
I was trying to be nice.
Remember, she's the fairy and I'm the dragon.
Yes.
She's the pest.
Yes, she did write up there. It's all very serious.
Exactly. But yes, unlike the early reading we had there with two of the same cards, by the way, at least it is reversed. I think it's just a hilarious of the fact that it was my dragon deck was the first one. This is yours.
Mm-hmm.
And we have two of the three same cards, again, next to each other, but in the reverse positions. So basically is that this is the reminder of stop that shit. And the idea is that, you know, this is you trying to take everything on and ultimately, you know, really burning your own wing and tail in the process here. Yeah, not fun like that.
Rena trying to do too much? No, she doesn't do that. What?
If looks could kill right now. Well, unfortunately, the camera's not on my face.
Is my sarcasm dial up enough?
Yeah. The way is shut. It was made by those who are dead. But the way actually isn't shut. You can get through that. It's just that
especially you're tinier than most.
Ouch.
Well, no, in her case, I think that's a good thing.
Well, I mean, also the fact that I mean, okay, you can point to that if you want to.
We do.
But wow.
Yes, Chanel, we still see you. Like, you are actually up next after Rena.
Yeah. Yes, Shan, you Shan L, you are now in the batter's box position here. So basically, choose pick your poisons better. Choose the things that you actually really want to force your way through this little narrowed opening here. You try it all, you're going to burn yourself. This, okay. But this actually is what makes more sense where it's kind of coming from. The idea is that, so what is it you really should spend more time on right now? The focus here is on the emotions. Because this one, the dragon here, basically following the stream here, very similar to the Eight of Wands in this deck too, by the way. Both of them have the similar metaphors of the idea of the dragon basically pursuing and following their heart's desire. In this case, it's really kind of saying is that, as we start getting out of winter, heading into springtime, your energies are best actually spent focusing on something that you actually want to accomplish that gives you a heck of a lot more emotional satisfaction and than you have. And it can be just for you. Mm-hmm. It can be with somebody else too, and you. It's kind of but the thing is,
it's okay. It's okay if it's just for you too. I think that's also partially a little bit of a thing the cards are trying to let you know. Like, there is in fact no other dragon in that card with you. So it is okay if you decide it's just for you.
And, that's not your modus operandi. You worry about everybody else.
I know that's why I was sort of harping on that a little bit.
Yeah, that's the whole point. That's why it was upside down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the whole set was upside down, but this one even more so is that not to be spoiled, selfish, narcissistic, whatever. But sometimes it really does need to be about you.
Yes, it does. I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess that time is now.
According to the cards.
According to the cards, yes.
Listen to the cards, Rena. Listen to the cards.
I mean, come on, Rita. You do tarot readings yourself. You're not blind to these messages. So
listen to Sound Guy.
Excuse us, Jody Turner. We will have no fakes here. We will have no trolls here. Goodbye, Jody Turner.
I love that, the little bot crap going on there.
Hello, hun.
So that is what we have for you. Good old Rena Fairy.
And then
you bring out the bots in us.
Oh, that's just terrible.
It really is.
And then, Shan, let me double check that you haven't sent us a thing already. But if you haven't, would you like the Dragon deck, the Swiss 1/1J deck, or the deck of Sexual Magic? Do you have a question or not? Would you like a general? And then a number from 1 to 78.
So did you read his last comment?
I'm scrolling, so no, I have not.
Yes, I'm happily entering in a new era, and not everyone will be happy about it. Well, you know what? Tough. Those who really understand you will follow you and adapt with your changes as you go. And if they choose not to, then frankly, let them pass you by, or walk in a different direction. It's like, that's the whole thing, is that we are here, for a combination of things. It's like the one you hymn that we sing every now and then. For all it is our life.
Oh, yes.
For all life is a gift that we are called to use to build the common good and to make our own days glad.
Yes. And especially in the coming days, community is going to be everything, and joy is revolution. And thank you, Shan, for... So, we would like the Sexual Magic deck.
And it's number 27, Future Partner.
Well, we won't be able to give you a name, but we can sort of give you a little bit of an outline, I suppose, is the way that works. And they are a Leo.
Or more like the fact of, are they ready for a future partner?
That too.
So the thing about this particular deck, since we haven't used it yet, it's deliberately drawn heterosexually, but it works for literally any relationship because it's about male and female energy, not physical gender. Because we all possess the male and female energy, even though they themselves calling them male and female energy, that's a stereotype. But
it is.
But we got to deal with something. Okay, no inverted cards.
Ah, that's very nice. And also, I know that we're all adults here, but there may be some nipples and butts in these cards. I do hope that we can all...
Actually, I don't.
Not in these cards?
Not in these ones.
In this deck, but apparently we're sparing.
Yeah, I mean,
cards.
we have some lingerie here, but we don't have actual. We don't have like. Because some people actually do get really.
Oh, that's
get
cute.
on a twink about that. So.
That's cute. I like that.
So we have here first the 2 of Earth. We have the 9 of Chalices, and then we have the 7 of Pentacles or Earth. So we have 2 Earth cards and a Water card.
I really like this as a progression.
Oh, tell me about it. The other direction would be so much worse. The idea is that we have the female elements. Earth and water are the female energy elements. Air and fire are the male energy elements. And in this deck, the way that they typically, because again, they really feed off all of the sexual stereotypes, is that the earth and water cards have a tendency of being more emotional based, and the air and fire cards being more physical based. So here we have, I sometimes call this the creepster card, because we've got the fine dressed lady, and from behind comes a guy here going, I'm going to get you.
It feels like that we're talking about potentially past relationships, and that we don't want this. We're not looking for this.
Yes, that's why I'm going. Before. I'm not going. Be better that this one. Yeah, if this was over here, we'd be saying something very, very different.
I'd be like, oh no.
But yeah, here we have the combination of essentially as the male and the female partner. Obviously you can tell that there's not much clothing going on here, but then again, neither one of these actually refers to physical. This is more of these guys are getting really physical, quote, in touch with each other. But it's more. But also,
they're having a really good conversation.
It's a good conversation. Plus, they have the physical touch. It's the idea. It's more of that emotional bonding than the actual physical bonding. And this one over here, you could say, well, maybe it's post-coitus, and they're having a little nap there right now. He's sound asleep, holding her, and she's actually eating more sausages because I guess she's still hungry.
What's coitus?
Coitus?
It's coitus.
Coitus.
Yeah, it's just coitus.
Oh.
He was making fun of you.
Oh. Whatever.
He was making fun of your pronunciation.
Actually, believe it or not, I mean that's how I was told to pronounce that when I was in school. In all seriousness,
I was taught coitus.
Okay. Well, Maybe my teacher was at the moron.
Well, I also wasn't gonna say anything because, like, I'm not rude like some sound people we know.
Oh, I'm just horrible. I know.
I'll leave that one right there.
But yes, no. Intimacy is great, but this is less about the physical, more about the emotional. Will there be physical intimacy? Yes. But this is... I don't know if your past relationships have given you the emotional intimacy that you've desired. The cards would like you to know that you will get that in spades this time around.
So the idea being is that, you know, it doesn't really matter here. Idea is that if you were in this card, if you were the quote creepy guy, or if you were the fine dressed lady over here, because clearly these are relationships that you've been for before. Ill-matched. But the idea is that learning from your mistakes, and learning not to repeat them,
which is the big one.
And that's the big one. So here is that new partner comes along, and honestly, which one are you? Are you the male or the female? Who cares? Because it really kind of is irrelevant here. It winds up essentially being the fact of is that the next person that comes along is that you guys are going to be much more in that. I don't want to say love at first sight there, but there's going to definitely be much more of an emotional bond than, shall we just say, a physical hookup desire bond.
Yes, I agree.
Did you do a clarify? Is that why you drew that last card there?
I did. Yes, I was just curious.
You were curious? Well, let's not keep the audience's suspense here.
Because I also wanted to basically prove that this isn't a honeymoon period.
Right. So that's the Six of Earth. So another Earth card that we put on top of the creepy Earth card. And here we have, I kind of call this the Adam and Eve card, where Eve here has got the apples, and she's basically taking her own time to eat the apple before she lets Adam in here. It's that reminder that an awful times in relationships is that when you start getting close, you also have to make sure that you maintain your own individual identity.
And also the way that I'm reading this too is that this partnership also, you're going to have someone who wants to help you explore your individual. They are excited about growth for you as well and want to be a part of it. That's also sort of what I'm seeing with that.
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a win-win.
Like Adam staying in the background and letting you, suss yourself out for a bit, because he knows sometimes you got to do some growing on your own, but he can be there in the background and cheer you on. I
think what kind of says is that both yourself and your future partner have been through some darker times.
Yes.
And that you've both essentially, that you've matured, you've learned you've learned how not to screw up a relationship. You've also learned what you're not willing to tolerate in somebody else. So the idea is that, you know how to both give and receive. Because that's important to do.
To you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live.
Okay.
See, I can do that too.
Yes, you can. Alrighty. And that's what we have here. Liz, you are up next.
And even if Liz is not currently here, we have...
And then comes Jenna.
We have Liz's thing. We must scroll. Scroll.
Scroll, scroll, scroll in the hay.
Yes, thank you.
I'm sorry. Had to do the little young Frankenstein. I'm so sorry to hear about Gene Hackman.
Me too.
And of course, what's really bizarre now, because it's looking more and more like they've been dead a while.
Yes.
And the question is why?
Yes, that and Michelle Trachtenberg yesterday from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She was 39.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's a general read, but asked because Liz has just been so drained lately that she thought a reading might help.
Okay, did you give a number though?
Dragon 15.
15, okay.
And Liz is also a Libra.
I got that, yes. Yeah, so with the passing of Gene Hackman, there is now only one person left alive from Young Frankenstein, and that's Mel Brooks himself. which is
irony.
the irony because he's the oldest one.
The irony.
He'll be 99 this summer. I loved his cameo in Only Murders in the Building.
I got Mom and Dad into Only Murders in the Building. It's a very good show. If any of you haven't watched it, watch it.
Yeah, I love Mel Brooks's cameo in that. I'm kind of going, oh my God, he still's got the wisecracks, even at his age.
There's like 100 cameos in that show. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Are we ready?
We are ready. All right. No inverted cards. It makes our life a little easier. We've got here the Empress again, because we had that in the Swiss 1-1J. We have the Hierophant, the other Taurus card. And we have the Four of Swords.
Well, I know why you're drained, Liz.
Okay, you take it all. You start with this one.
All right, Liz. You are a very strong person. I know this. We've had a lot of good chats. Being a strong person doesn't mean that you have to do everything by yourself. You can, in fact, ask for help. You don't have to do everything on your own. And I'm not necessarily talking physical tasks, because that is not a physical card. That's a brain card that I am referring to currently. It seems your brain might be feeling a bit taxed. Would you like to jump in?
Well, yes. First, we have the Empress, who's taking care of the new hatchling dragon and wearing her own crown while on her throne. We have the busiest dragon in the deck, which also happens to be the Taurus one, or the Hierophant, the priest, where he's trying to control everything. Good luck with that. And then we have the multitasking card here, the Four of Swords, where the 3 swords in the town, okay, got that. And the 4th one is on his nose. It's like it's like a seal balancing a beach ball.
Yep.
I mean, we all multitask, but it's short term. Long term, it ain't gonna work.
No.
So yeah. What did she say? She was overtaxed?
Her brain is overtaxed. Yes.
All the cards are basically saying, will you stop it?
Yeah, honestly.
Take a vacation. Take a nap.
That Empress needs to hand off that baby to somebody.
Yep.
That puppeteer needs to put the puppet down.
Yep. You got to get that 4th sword off your nose there. Isn't there anybody you could actually like hand off some of these other things to? You know, you can't handle it your own. You can't have all yourself.
And like, I understand that you and I are similar in that we want to do, like, we feel weird when we aren't doing stuff. But listen to yourself and listen to that drained feeling and try to take care of yourself.
Yes. Because I drew a clarifier. Look what I got.
Oh, good. Is that the same deck that we got that from earlier, or was that
actually
from my deck?
I'm not sure, to tell you the truth. It's upside down anyway. You got the upside down 10 of Cups, or the Arguing Dragons. This is the emotional card here. The idea is that if you don't knock this off, you're actually going to start having issues with your own interpersonal relationships.
Yes. So feeling drained. So take a break.
Take a break.
Have a nap.
Have a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
Do some self-care, and self-care looks different for everyone at various points in time. Like, self-care for me last night was going home and having some wine and cake in bed. That was excellent. That was how nice to me that was. That was just, I've been doing a lot of late. There's been a lot that I've been handling, but I've been doing very well, so I get to reward myself with wine and cake. And
yay!
bed.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, it's the little things are everything.
It is the little things. I mean, also the fact of it is that I don't know how you feel about winter. I hate it personally, and I am so glad that we're going to have March in a couple of days, because it's like, okay, we're in the final stretch run for calendar winter, you know, and it's gonna be a busy year, but the thing is, it's like I don't mind that. I'm tired of hibernating. I want to get out and start doing stuff again.
Versus me, I don't feel like I got a decent enough rest this winter at all. So I personally wouldn't mind like one more good snow and like a nap.
Well, you might get your wish.
I might.
Well,
It's not looking super favorable for me in that regard.
Well, not in the next maybe week or so. But the thing is that the last couple of calendar winters we've gotten the majority of our snow in the last month.
That's true. That definitely has not been true this year, though. And
no,
I'm
this
okay.
has been a different winter.
And I'm okay with that because that also means part of why I want more snow too is kill the ticks. Kill the ticks.
Yeah, and at least we had the real good cold and the longer snow. So yeah, so that's going to be better from that perspective. And if you're a maple person, a maple tree person,
that we're going to have some good sap.
The sap's going to be running pretty well this year. Anyway, we are moving on to Jenna now. Jenna already has
yes.
General number 19. She literally said any random deck you want, and she's a Scorpio.
Well, then,
yes, that's exactly my thought too. Maria, are you still here, by the way? Because we are getting down there. Because Jenna is our number 8, and then we have Chelsea. Shannon never came back.
Yep.
So that means Marie, you're going to get our last slot if you are still here. If not,
Axel will get the last.
We'll go on to Axel. And if Axel's not here, we get to go to Tierra.
Oh, yeah, Chelsea, I do remember the 2 years in a row when it snowed on your birthday. That doesn't help. Yes. That doesn't help. It's too late by that point.
Mm-hmm. So, yes, Marie, please chime back in so we know you're still here. Because if not, you may wind up losing your space. All right.
Hey, you know what? Actually, Tierra... You've been incredibly patient and very kind. And since you are new, I'm making an executive decision. We'll make an 11th spot for you tonight.
Okay, that works for me. All right, so let's do Jenna's. Let's go ahead and flip it. Anne-Marie says she is here, by the way.
Excellent. So it will be Marie and then... And by the way, how are we pronouncing your name right? Is it Tierra? I want to make sure I'm actually getting that right.
All right, so we've got 2 upside down cards and 1 not. We have the upside down 8 of swords. We have the upside down Knigget of swords. And then we have the 6 of cups.
Very interesting.
Very interesting indeed. So air and water. And she's a Scorpio, so she's a water sign.
We have our heart and our brain are communicating. Are they communicating well?
No, I don't believe they are.
Because
I'm looking at. I mean, the camera may not be a show. So I'm looking at the facial expression of this knight.
It's not a happy face.
He's got kind of a WTF face.
Well, also he's actively about to attack something.
Yeah.
In some of the other knight cards, the sword is very, very prominently displayed still in the hilt. Mm-hmm. That dude is taking a swing.
And then we have the overcomplicated and complex symmetry of this card.
That's the brain card, and brains do overcomplicate things.
Yeah, because I look at this, I'm kind of going, what up? Oh, yeah, is it? Does she or doesn't she? Wow. If it was black and white, it would be symmetrical, mostly, but it's not. But the thing is, look at these colors and kind of go, and the thing is, even the shades of the brown are a little different here and there. So yes, this is definitely of trying to overcomplicate everything, trying to make it look perfect, and the more perfection you try to achieve, the less you actually achieve it.
Yes, this is a very classic. I've overcomplicated it.
Mm-hmm.
Your brain loves to overthink. Wow, I wouldn't have guessed. But yes, this is very much a brain versus heart rather than let's work in tandem. That's not great. You want them to work in tandem. Communication is good. We want them to be communicating well. They're not communicating well at the moment. Especially since and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but you really see your brain seems real fed up with the heart, because also the heart has the 6 of I'm confused, I'm lost, I don't know what's going on. The brain seems real fed up with that. The brain, it looks almost like the brain's like, well, look at this diagram that I've created. I know what's going on.
I know what's going on.
The brain
here.
does not actually know what's going on any more than the heart does, but also doesn't want to cop to that.
That's one way of looking at that.
That's certainly what I'm seeing.
No, I agree with that, especially the whole point of like the 6 of Cups. Confusion! You know, it's just like...
But the heart is at least willing to admit its confusion, as opposed to the brain.
That's the whole point, is that at least the heart's kind of going, will you cut the crap?
Yeah, the heart's like, I'll just sit here until you're ready to admit that you don't know, that you're just as lost as me.
Right. Because the fun part about this is that the symmetry of this card is better than what this is. Is it perfect here? No, it never is. But the idea is I look at this, which is just like, it's just so bloody complicated, but going, no, this is a much more simplistic, symmetrical thing. I'm going, yeah, actually it kind of works.
You're in a little bit of a transition period. Well, your brain is overcomplicating your transition.
Yes.
This is one of those moments where I want to take your brain lovingly and tell your brain, it's not that deep.
And you don't have to pick a fight with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You are not Sir Lancelot.
You're
brain, fighting amongst yourself, actually.
Your brain is trying to foresee everything, and that's simply not a thing brains can do.
Nope.
Brains will never admit it, but it's simply not a thing brains can do.
As much as we would like to say, yeah, but no. So don't even.
I love it. Noted.
All right. Let us move on.
Indeed.
Did Chelsea give us a, because we have Chelsea and then Marie, Axel, and Tierra.
Yes, Chelsea, it's you. And we know you're a Taurus. You don't need to tell us that part. I am just going to tell anybody that is joining the stream at this point. We are almost to the end of our list for the evening. So we are closing signups for tonight. If you would like to sign up for next month's April Fools or the next serious one we will be doing in May, you may feel free to sign up for those now. But for this evening, signups are at a close.
Oh, I think you meant just to say the next serious one we do in April. Thank you very much.
That is not what I meant.
Don't do me like that.
That is not what I meant to say.
Don't do me like that.
Don't
do me like that.
Why I didn't say it.
So wrong. So very, very wrong.
Oh, anniversary coming up, Chelsea. Oh, that's nice.
And she wants the romance deck to basically see where are they.
Focused on being responsible adults. We haven't had much time or energy for us time.
Is that why you haven't had energy?
That's what Chelsea's saying.
I thought it had something to do with the fallout from the job.
Oh, she's gonna love these cards.
Let's see.
I did not pull these, Chelsea.
Okay, we
Aww.
have. Well, we've got the 2 more signs of the zodiac, which may be not relevant here. We've got We got the King of Wands, Aries card. We have Death or Scorpio, and we have the Ten of Wands. So we have fire and water mixing together. And in this
Is
case,
he Aries or Scorpio? Because we know you aren't.
we know you're a Taurus. So yes, what is the partner?
But I do like the way in which your partner is showcased by these cards. I think that is a very one, it's what you need, but two, based on my own interactions with him, this is the impression I've gotten from our conversations.
I mean, first off here, I believe that he's actually his energy is the king here.
Yes.
And the
very
idea
much so.
and the idea is that even though and I love the way the cards sometimes really kind of like follow or deliberately go against the stereotype. Aries stereotype, of course, is being, that strong, they're really independent, really intelligent, also can be sometimes the most spoiled, selfish, narcissistic. That's the good and the bad of the Aries. So the thing is, here you have the king basically as the jacked king that he is here, very muscular, but rather than going, I am king, woman, come here and kneel before me and do my bidding. No, it's that, oh, you're naked, you're cold. Let me warm you by wrapping my cloak around you.
Come here, baby. Let me warm. I'm a furnace. Come here.
Exactly.
Sounds like somebody I know.
Oh, he's a cuspy 2 ways. Oh, that's fun.
So that's a Virgo Libra cusp right there. Interesting. So the idea is that you've been playing the idea of responsible adults haven't had much time or energy for us. So death, as you probably figure out here, is more about change. The idea is that your energy, the two of you, you guys are good together. So the thing is, don't be so responsible anymore. Death, wanting to have a little bit more change here, and this is one of my favorite images of death, by the way, where the Reaper is drawn as a female.
It's also time to do your actual harvest, using the scythe for what it's actually meant for.
A harvest, exactly.
And also, you guys have weathered some decent storms and changes in your relationship already because of outside influences. Because, did you know that big sweeping job changes and things like that can affect relationships?
Really?
Yeah!
Funny thing about how Earth can sometimes mess up a relationship.
But yes, so I also think that card is also there to show you being like, you guys have already weathered a decent amount of change together and you're doing well.
Mm-hmm.
You can continue to weather change.
So basically, go ahead and jump each other's bones.
Absolutely. Have an excellent anniversary. Mm-hmm. Have fun.
Yes, have some fun. This is one of the more obviously physical cards in this deck, and it's a fire card, so it's like 10's that number of transition. Now transitions can be all over the place, can be good, bad, or indifferent. But clearly here with the picture of the two of them kind of like going at each other in the woods. Yeah, I mean, it's just go for it.
I would suggest having Mana Mana from the Muppets playing in the background.
No.
It works.
Ding. Thank you.
Especially if you're going to have a fun anniversary. You got to have that one.
You don't need to take a sound guy's romantic advice.
No, please don't.
Sound guy's romantic advice is awesome.
As someone that sound guy romances, he does have some good ideas. You don't have to take every idea.
I have amazing ideas.
I'm in the same room here.
Oh, Marie, thank you. Thank you for getting that. So Marie would like Dragon deck.
I think it's time for it's your dragon turn.
24.
24.
And she would like guidance on my ability / gift. We will attempt to tell you what your guides are trying to tell you, but we have friends that are better at that than we are. In particular.
It depends on the cards. We might see something, but I know what you're referring to.
Yes.
Didn't expect that.
And here, before we begin, I will just answer this final from Chelsea. Yeah, no. The earthly slog can absolutely make you feel like you're drifting in your relationship. But the two of you are very well matched. You do very well together. Now it's time to just be like, you should literally tell him, be like, we've been given permission to have fun. And then go have fun.
Girls just want to have fun. Oh, girls just want to have.
Oh,
That's
and then
what they
Tiara,
need.
for your information, we have two all-purpose decks: the Dragon deck and the Dark Shadows deck, and then we have one relationship deck. But those are the decks that we have to choose from.
Mm-hmm.
And then now on to Marie's
Here's
cards.
Marie's cards. All fire.
Fire, fire, fire!
Knigget of fire. Upside down page of fire. Also doubles as Sagittarius. And then the 4 of fire. So turn this around. But this was the one that was upside down.
So I think we'll be talking about your energy.
Do you think?
Hmm.
Do you think? What message are your guides trying to send to you? Okay. Well, you know what? If there was ever a time for you to get out of the chair and get back in the ball game, it's now.
It is very much now. Now is not the time to be sitting idly by.
Nope. You have the knight. And by the way, the knights refer to change, but the way in the dragon deck they are drawn, they are deliberately drawn as the knights are drawn as soldiers of old. And depending upon the element they are, kind of indicates what their position is, so to speak here. The Knight of Fire is the Knight of Offense. He believes the best defense is a good offense, to use an old sports term thing there. He's ready to go out and just, do his damage. Slay the Huns before they could even get to the castle. He just wants to get out there. He wants to get out there and act. Now, this does not say be reckless and not to plan. Hence why the Page of Wands, the Sagittarius card, shows up here in the middle because of the 3 fire sign zodiacs, Aries, Leo, and and Sagittarius. Are you done sneezing?
I think I'm done.
Okay. Sagittarius is the bottom and is the most controlled. Knowing that this is not going to be essentially a sprint. It's more of a marathon. And on top of that, you've got here the picture of the dragon looking at the book here. And even though you can't see the detail of it, that book is not in English. It's a different language. There's always something new to learn.
No, apparently I wasn't done.
You're not done sneezing. And then the last one over here, the 4 of Wands, that's sometimes we call this the divine male card because you have the male phallic symbol right here and the dragon wrapped around it. It does not necessarily refer to an actual physical male. It's just more of that strong male energy that you are getting more in tune with at this point.
Now, what does all of this mean in turn of your question of what is your ability/gift? So, are you somebody that is meant to be somebody that dabbles in energy? Like, first of all, let's look at just a very straight forward read of it. Are we looking at energy because that's where your gift should be directed? There is a very decent chance of that, I think. And this isn't to say that I'm going to tell you to go out and do Reiki. There is so many different types of energy work. I do energy work that is not Reiki. But this may be one of those that say you can, if you are very good at moving your own energy, you may also be really good at moving the energy of others.
I like that.
What think you?
No, that's good. That actually is very good. Get outside the comfort zone.
Yes.
In a way which, this is going to sound stupid, get outside your comfort zone, but in a direction of where you actually want to go. This is not, the knight here is not randomly going out there and just, laying siege to whatever fields are there and killing whatever's there. No. You're actually out there for a purpose. But it's the purpose that you actually want to pursue.
Yes, this is one of those where we are not going to be able to answer this question definitively, but this is at least an area for you to begin because the big way that you're going to be able to figure out your abilities and gifts is just by practicing different types of stuff. And there will be some things that you're very good at and you seem like you have a natural affinity for, and there will be other things where you don't, and that's okay. We're not all good at everything.
The numerology of your cards also suggests it's changing time, because idea nights by themselves already mean change. The 4 refers to ending of the phase, time to move on to the next phase, start something new.
Yes. What's the purpose?
Personal growth more than anything else.
Honestly, yes. A lot of people, when they sort of start out on this journey for finding their own gifts and stuff, a lot of them start out with this idea that I have to find this because I have to use it and I have to do XYZ in the world. I have to do XYZ for other people. And no, you don't act. If you want to do things for other people, if you want to use your gifts to help other people, if you want to do readings the way that Dad and I do, if you want to become a Reiki practitioner and do that on other people, like you can. But it's one of those things where you can also learn about your gifts for the sake of your own personal growth and nothing more. And that is also perfectly acceptable.
Right. There are a lot of, to use us as an example, there are a lot of people who do what we do, but not publicly. They don't do these type of things. They don't do it commercially. They're just as talented as a lot of the other readers that we know, but they basically decided to hold their skills for themselves, or maybe they're just, they're a select few people which are close to them and do not want to deal with, the generic public out there. Fine. But the thing is, they still had to learn, and they still had the same personal growth and metamorphosis that we have.
So if you do Reiki and readings for people already, then you do know a little bit of where your energy and gifts, like what your gifts are. So keep exploring in that way if you feel like you haven't tapped everything.
Right. And we were using those as examples. If you already are experienced at those, maybe it's time to expand your litany of tools. Or your skill set.
It's one of those things where this question does not have a definitive answer that we can give you. We can only sort of point you in a direction. Here's the direction.
Focus on something that you've always thought about. Hey, this would be kind of like cool to really kind of like explore, but you've never done it before. Now's the time to do it.
And then
I Ching comes to mind from my own little personal example. I always, because of Dark Shadows, I was always intrigued by the I Ching. Even though the plotline they use for in Dark Shadows is completely idiotic and has almost nothing to do with the reality of I Ching.
It's very silly. It is very silly.
However, when I watched those first couple episodes where they introduced the I Ching, they actually got the initial basics correct. That's the thing which always floored me. When they would say, oh, you threw hexagram number, blah, 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 that's this. And I would look and go, yeah, they actually did enough research to get that part right.
So you feel like you need to find missing people? Okay. We're not going to tell you no. That's
absolutely.
That is also a perfectly acceptable use of your gifts. We have no experience in that. We can't tell you how to go about it, but
we could definitely send people your direction if you wanted to.
Yes, absolutely. We have friends.
We've got friends in
low and high places. So Axel has sent us his, and then Tiara, to answer your question, there isn't a place for you to choose. It's basically just tell us in your comment whether you would like the dragon deck, the Dark Shadows deck, or the relationship deck. Basically, just in your comment, tell us which deck you would like, a number between 1 and 78, and whether or not you have a question. And while you are figuring that out, Axel would like a General Dragon 42.
Remember that tune?
Ding ding. Yes.
Axel
Ding,
F by
ding.
Yep.
Herbie Hancock.
Mm-hmm.
Ding 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 ding. Ding 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 ding. That's a YouTube thing that happened after a while.
Okay. Let's see, it's sticking. What was number 42?
42, yes.
Ah, yes, the meaning of life.
Oh, Marie, you're like me. I'm also that. I also do that. It's if you feel called to do that with your energy, by all means do so. I personally don't feel like I could handle that. But I'm not you. Dad is dropping cards
Where the hell did it go?
on the floor. Oh no!
It's torn.
Oh
I
no!
don't think I have to get a piece of tape and fix this one.
He's murdering the cards.
No, I'm not murdering the cards. Someone actually murdered them. When they
Ishika
shuffled the
on
wrong way.
YouTube, thanks for joining. We are actually just doing the last couple of people on the list for the night. So the list for the night is closed. We do one of these every month, though. So we will be back in April and in May. So don't worry, you will be able to find us again.
Absolutely. All right, this is a general again.
General.
People have they ask for general. They don't ask for colonel or major or sergeant. You know, everyone wants a general reading. All right.
Oh yeah, Tiara, this is my dad.
Oh, Tiara finally figured it out.
Well, it's when I went dad's dropping cards. Dad? Yes.
Yes, Lord Fafnir and Spawn are the names.
The spawn is a little literal. It's a little on the nose.
Yes.
But anyway, so Axel, for you, we have inverted Six of Swords, inverted King of Cups, and right way round, Five of Swords.
Oh, sound guy, would you mind going upstairs and getting me the Scotch tape? I'm going to fix this card before it gets any worse.
Oh, Major General, yes. So, Axel. It's a little bit of the same. Because it's, again, the cards are telling you what you need to be doing. Now, I understand, because I know you in real life, and I know a lot of your personal situation. You aren't necessarily in a position to do what the cards are telling you to. But that's not going to stop them.
All the old competition thing going on here.
And the needing to remove from certain toxic influences.
I mean that one.
But cannot remove from certain toxic influences because the earthly situation does not allow for it.
Yes, these are
But
all.
we're not talking. But
your
the
brain
earthly
and your
situation.
heart. Yes.
Yeah, we're not talking about the earthly situation right now. We're talking about what not being able to change that earthly situation is sort of doing internally. It's not great.
No.
You're overthinking with the best of them. And I'm not even going to tell you that you're feeling, because you're not. You're not actually feeling your feelings. You're over intellectualizing them to death, which some people think is the same as feeling your feelings. It is not. Intellectualizing your feelings is not feeling your feelings.
The best thing
You
right
would
now is-
know.
Oh, would I?
Mm-hmm.
Stand your ground, though.
Yes.
That's the thing, is standing there. That's the more important thing. Anything else?
I also agree.
I mean, play the lone wolf if you have to. It's just more of the. Thank you. It's just more of the keeping yourself there intact, keeping your sanity. We do some surgery in this card right now, so before it gets any worse.
Ah, the therapist agrees, says Mom. Thanks, therapist. It's so nice when she can weigh in. No, Axel, like, I know that you're doing your best, but you also are in a shitty earthly you don't have at the very minimum, you don't have the financial ability to get away from some of the toxicity that you would actually need to get away from. So like, I'm not even like, I'm not sitting here being like, "Whoa, do better." Like, I fully understand why
Do better.
why you're in the position that you're in. You might want to ask a question next time, though, because if you keep asking for general, the cards are just going to keep yelling at you with this one point where it's, at this point, you should tell the cards, like, I know.
Yeah, that's.
There's nothing I can do about it at this moment in time, though.
Mm-hmm. This is not a good time. Ask again later.
Basically, I like that.
It's like that's one of the cubes on the 8-ball. That's literally one of the things you turn the dice or whatever points is ask again later.
Yep. So that is what
All
we
right.
have for you, and then let us close this out with Tiara, since you were so kind and patient and your first time joining us.
Absolutely.
So yes, which of the 3 decks would you like? A number between 1 and 78, and whether you have a question or you would just like a general reading.
And now we wait.
Lily's smart, Axel. You got a smart kid there. Number 4, would you like Dragon, Dark Shadows, or the Relationship deck? And
what's the question?
Dark Shadows.
Got it.
And then do you have a question, or would you just like general?
Did I shuffle these a little before we did this last time?
I don't remember.
I'm going to shuffle again. Just
okay. Well, yes, Axel. Smart kids are also smart asses. That's. If they are one, they're definitely the other.
Kids and asses are completely different animals.
Tiara is still typing their question. So we will wait patiently.
I did shuffle these, by the way, and I cut the deck. I want you to see where the cards have come up.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yep. Now this one's different.
That one is different. Oh, they're bookending.
Mm-hmm.
They don't seem like they're doing well. We're having some familiar cards.
Now these were not inverted last time, though.
Mother, we're not talking about me and my patience. We're talking about the person who is going last this evening. They've been very patient.
Patience is a virtue.
What are the blockages that I can't see in my love/social life? I feel very, very lonely and have been focusing on myself for a while. I just want some clarity on what I can do to be open to receive the love and friendships I desire. Oh, that makes that make way more sense.
Go ahead and flip the camera. Cards are already out there.
I just don't know who to trust.
That, yeah, exactly. So we have the upside down, number 3,
The Empress.
the Empress. We have the upside down, Wheel of Fortune. And yes, we saw those 2 cards earlier. Not this in this position, not the inverted position. And then the last one, a new card here, the incorrect Roman numeral 4, Emperor.
So we at least have the full couple of the Emperor and Empress.
That's the Swiss numeral 4.
Oh my god, I hate you.
There you go. You chose this.
Ignore him. Keep going.
So, you... That Wheel of Fortune in the middle really says it all. And also your statement that you just don't know who to trust. No, you don't, because the wheel of your trust is that Wheel of Fortune. And honestly, in this case, it's almost like a wheel of misfortune, because it seems that you have misplaced your trust a few times in the past.
Yes, in this case, you haven't been the one with blindfolded one turning the wheel. You've been one of the ones that's been thrown off the wheel.
And I think one of the reasons that you've been feeling lonely, and you can feel free to correct me if I am wrong, but do you try to fit yourself into the group as opposed to finding a group that fits you? You know, you try to file down your jagged edges as opposed to finding people that will love even your sharpest of wits. Because that is what I am seeing here. In the I am having a hard time finding a real group because I also have a hard time being my real self.
Yes, and the thing is, part of it is that you have to let some of your real self out and your artificial self not so much. As in, you don't play the game of personifying who you aren't, but you think but I should do this because this is what's going to make me more popular, or people will want to see this more. The idea is that the Empress is upside down. The Emperor was not. Now, I'll grant you, we all have male and female stereotypical energies within us, but the idea is that, don't play the sweet, innocent little thing, so to speak here. Play more of that stronger.
Play to your strength.
Play your strength. That's the whole point, is that the Emperor, that's your message, is that the Emperor, it doesn't say, go out and get a Mayan. No, it basically says, let your male energy basically
and
be the dominant party, because it is. Don't shy away from it.
And you've commented here and you've said you don't know where to find your people. Yes, you do. You're just not necessarily thinking about it in the way that's going to get you there. And that's, again, because you do try to, like you said, you do try to fit in. So sit there and first of all, think about who are your people. You have to actually think about who you are as a person. And I'm not even we don't even have to go about super deep into it, right? Let's just talk about finding people to do fun things with. What are you into? Like me and my partner, we like to play board games with people. And so we've gone out, and there's a board game cafe near us. We've found a couple of groups of people that meet to play board games. We've put a couple of gaming groups together ourselves to find people to play with, and in that way, we attracted our type of board gamey people to us that we wanted to play with. So what what's a thing you want to spend time with people doing? What kind of person are you? And then, so what kind of people reflect that?
Or the case of you always could start your own group.
Yes, that is allowed.
That would be also some of that male energy. Is that if you can't find a group that you want to be in that already exists, form your own. And obviously ask the people who you're comfortable with around if they want to be a part of this group. And if they don't, they don't, free will and all that. But you also can expand the horizons and ask other people as well, or ask those who say, well, maybe I don't want to do, but I know so-and-so might, and you may not know them, but that's okay. It really is play to your strengths. Don't be the person that you think others want you to be. Be the person that you are.
Yes, because here's the thing. It is okay that not everybody is going to like you. I know that we put such emphasis on being like everybody. No, not everybody needs to like you. It is more important to find the people that genuinely do and genuinely have your back than to find that people who will tolerate a watered down version of you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, to use ourselves in this little thing that we do when we are out in the public doing readings, whether we're together or separate, the idea is that no reader connects with everybody.
Absolutely not.
And so if we're in a crowded room of people and some people want to have a reading, okay. If they don't, that's fine too. But then if we're together, some will naturally gravitate towards red.
Yep.
And some will naturally gravitate towards me. And that's just the way it is.
And that's okay. So, figure out who you are and then find your people based on that.
And the idea is you already know who you are. Just basically let yourself be who you are.
Let yourself be heard.
Mm-hmm.
Let yourself be known. What a nice way to round that out.
Make them hear you. I'm sorry, I had to throw that out there.
So, thank you for joining us tonight, everybody. As I've said a few times, next month will be the April Fool's live stream. So, if you wanted to ask an actual serious question, maybe don't that one.
Well,
unfortunately, there's only 2 people left watching it this way. Everybody else has bailed. So, beat on their own head when they try to sign up next month for Sound Guy and the April Fool's annual session.
Indeed.
It actually will be most amusing, if nothing else.
It will be. So on that note.
And informative.
Yeah, whatever. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again.